Alright, so in our last video we worked on hand washing pots and pans and some bigger bowls and even a baking sheet. In this video I wanted to show you how you could load the dishwasher. Now you don't have to fully wash everything that you're putting in the dishwasher, but you want to make sure you rinse it off and sometimes even scrub it off a little bit. Because if you put a plate or a bowl in here that has a lot of dried food on it, it's not going to get completely clean. And again, like we talked about, we don't want to eat off dishes or bowls that aren't completely clean. So there's 2 shelves in a dishwashing machine, and you might have some at your house or you might not have one. Normally you would put like the bigger plates on the bottom and sometimes the smaller dishes as well. And then there's a little carrier that you would put utensils in, so forks, knives, spoons, and maybe even some spatulas, depending on how tall it is. If it's too tall, it won't be able to close, so sometimes you just have to try. The top, a lot of times you can put glasses or coffee mugs, sometimes even some different containers. And you can also put some smaller plates or smaller bowls. You just want to make sure the things like cups or bowls you put upside down. If not, it's going to save all the dishwash water inside of it. So I'm going to rinse some things off at the sink and show you how we can begin to load the dishwasher. So I'm just rinsing out a Ziploc container and also a lid. So these are smaller items. They can fit in at the top. Again, I'm going to put the bowl upside down so it doesn't collect the water. I have some bigger plates in the sink over here, so I'm just kind of wiping off some of the food that was on it and putting it in the bottom. So there's kind of a little divot for it to go into. Again, just wiping off the plate, make sure there's not too much food or sauce left on it, and just putting it into the dishwasher. I have a few different plates in here, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm using warm water, but again, not too hot because I don't want to burn myself, but warm enough so it's able to get some of the leftover food off. And you're sanitizing it a little bit. You don't have to keep the water running. A lot of times it's better to turn it off to save some water as well. So here's a smaller bowl. I could put it upside down at the bottom, or if I have space at the top, I can put it upside down there. I have a couple bigger cooking utensils here, and I'll show you how we can put them in as well once I rinse them off. So I have 4 different bigger utensils here. Sometimes, if they're not too tall, you can put them in the bottom rack. So to me, that's a little bit too tall, so I'm probably gonna lay it out around the dishes. I don't really want to put it on top of the dishes. I don't know if it'll be clean enough there, so I'm just kind of laying it around. You can also wash these by hand when you're washing your pots and pans. Sometimes that saves space in the dishwasher if you have a lot of things to put in. Alright, so I'm going to do a few more bowls, and then I'm going to show you the utensils as well. So I'm just rinsing these off under the sink, making sure some of the leftover food is coming off. And then we'll load these all into the dishwasher as well. these on top as well. Again, it just depends on where you have space. You just want to make sure you turn it over so it doesn't fill with water, and then you open it up and they're all still full with dirty water. I'm just laying some of these things, these containers to lids, across the top so they can get cleaned. And I also have some utensils that I'm also going to put in. So with utensils, if I have things like forks and spoons, I normally put them in like this, straight up and down, because that's where people ate off of, and it's gonna get it clean. So I'm just putting it in one of the little holders of the rack down here. You normally space them out, but if I have something like a sharper knife, I have this sharper knife in here, so you can wash it by hand, but you need to be careful that you don't cut yourself. Or when you're putting knives in, instead of straight up and down like the forks and spoons, you would turn the knife around and put it in that way. So then if someone's coming to put them away, when they're clean, they grab like this. You don't want them grabbing around a knife and cutting themselves. So all the knives I normally put in upside down. So again, I'm not really cleaning them fully in the sink because they're going in the dishwasher for that. I'm just rinsing them off so there's not too much food, and that they can also get cleaned. So eventually, once you have all of your dishes in here filled, you don't want to run it if it's not completely full, because then that's wasting the soap in the water. But you would close it, and we have dish soap for the dishwasher, which is different. So this is the soap you want to use for the dishwasher. It's meant for the dishwasher. The soap we used previously on hand washing is different. So you need to make sure you use dishwashing soap. And there's a little container here at the bottom. You just put enough dish soap in to fill it, and then you close it. And if you heard that, there's a little click that it makes. So then you would close the dishwasher, and then there's a start button at the top, and I normally put it on heavy so it gets really clean. So you would hit start, and we'll change it to heavy, and we're gonna put it on sanitize. So depending on what dishwasher you have, it could be different. But for this dishwasher, there's just those few buttons, and then when you close it, it'll start. Okay, great job.